Hey guys, I'm Bruce, back again with another kick-ass episode. So, you've conquered Elden Ring, web-slung your way through Spider-Man 2, and stared meaningfully into the Norse abyss with Kratos. Now what? Before you resort to replaying Astro's Playroom for the 40th time, we won't judge. Let's talk underrated PS5 games, the unsung legends hiding beneath the AAA avalanche. We're talking about the games that quietly slap, the underdogs that deserve a seat at the main menu. These 25 gems are weird, wild, and way too good to be this ignored. Don't forget to smash the subscribe button so you never miss a masterpiece in hiding. Let's get straight into it, shall we?
Fighting. Dying. Returning. Always the same, yet always changing.
Returnal. Alright, so imagine if Groundhog Day and Alien had a baby, and that baby was raised by a bullet hell game with trust issues. That's Returnal, baby. Dropping exclusively on PS5 in 2021, and later ported to Windows in 2023. This housemark banger hurls you into the boots of Celine Vassos, a space pilot who thought crash landing on a forbidden alien planet was a good idea. Spoiler, it was not. She's trapped in a twisted time loop on the constantly rearranging death world of Atropos. Kinda like IKEA if IKEA hated you and everything in it wanted you dead. The game plays like a third-person roguelike with a heavy psychological horror twist. You'll shoot, dash, and grapple your way through 6 shape-shifting biomes, face off against shiny nightmare creatures, and pick up wild weapons like the Electropylon driver, which sounds like a very angry Tesla coil. Each death resets everything but makes you just a little smarter and meaner. There's lore for days, creepy house segments that give PT a run for its money, and an unlockable true ending that melts your brain into cosmic soup. If you enjoy dying repeatedly in HD with gorgeous lighting, this one's your jam.
Surrender, or there will be trouble.
You're going down!
Robocop Rogue City. Drop the donuts and raise your hands. Robocop Rogue City is the metallic justice simulator you didn't know you needed. Released in 2023, this first-person shooter from Teon puts you behind Robocop's shiny visor, with Peter Weller himself back to growl iconic lines and blast scumbags into spare parts. Set between Robocop 2 and 3, this game is basically the missing chapter we never knew we wanted. Old Detroit is still falling apart, OCP is still shady as ever, and Robocop's having some serious PTSD flashes while dishing out citations and explosive takedowns. Gameplay-wise, this isn't your average shooty bang-bang. Sure, Robocop's Auto 9 pistol has infinite ammo, because reloading is for mortals, but it's also upgradable. You'll be scanning crime scenes, flinging CRT TVs at gang members, pulling turret guns off their mounts like a metal Hulk, and even writing traffic tickets like the world's angriest DMV worker. There's a morality system, branching choices, and the game even tracks how much the public loves you. Yes, Robocop can basically be a social media influencer now. With dark conspiracies, resurrected brains in Robocop 2 mechs, and wild philosophical twists, Rogue City is peak retro future mayhem with real heart and hydraulic limbs.
Defector and their technology first.
The Ascent. Welcome to Veles, a neon-soaked meat grinder where capitalism didn't just win, it built a mega skyscraper and called it home. The Ascent, released in 2021, is a cyberpunk twin-stick action RPG developed by a 12-person Swedish indie dream team, Neon Giant, proving you don't need an army to drop heat. Set in a towering arcology run by the Ascent Group, until it mysteriously collapses like your weekend plans. You're just a basic grunt who suddenly becomes the only one standing between order and full-blown district-wide anarchy. Gameplay is pure twin-stick carnage meets RPG brains. You aim high or low, literally, with a cover system that rewards smart shooting, like popping heads over bar counters or frying enemies behind flaming vending machines. Augmentations and cyberware turn your puny flesh sack into a walking blender, and your cyberdeck lets you hack doors, loot safes, and sneak into VIP chaos zones. Oh, and there's fast travel via subway or taxi, because no one's got time to leg it through a bullet-sprayed neon hellscape. The open world is gloriously seamless, no loading screens, just vibes and violence. Whether you go solo or roll 4 deep in co-op, the Ascent is a gritty, explosive climb into the heart of cyberpunk madness.
Even if we are apart, still we are one. without hesitation, without remorse.
Rise of the Ronin. This next game is what happens when Ghost of Tsushima, Assassin's Creed, and Red Dead Redemption crash a history class and decide to rewrite 19th century Japan with extra drama and explosive grappling hooks. Team Ninja dropped this beast in March 2024, and it's more than just a love letter to the Bakumatsu era. It's a flaming shuriken to the face of tradition. You play as one half of the Blade Twins. Pick your flavor, samurai bro or sis, who just watched their village go kaboom and their sibling go full anime villain, now known as the Demon Claw Samurai. Awkward family reunions incoming. The gameplay? Think katana clashing, flintlock blasting, and eagle diving from rooftops in Kyoto, Edo, and Yokohama, complete with customizable loadouts, cyberpunk-level grapples, and the occasional horse ride through cherry blossoms and burning cities. You'll be making big boy, or girl, choices, aligning with revolutionaries, betraying your sensei, and deciding whether you want to help Japan evolve or burn it to the ground. Oh, and you can pet cats. That's important. It's part RPG, part history buffet, and 100%. Did I just fight Matthew Perry? Energy. With alternate endings, co-op mode, and sky-gliding chaos, Rise of the Ronin slices expectations in half, and then does a stylish pose. Unknown 9 Awakening. Released in 2024, this third-person action-adventure dropped players into the dusty, rebellion-charged streets of 1912 northern India, where Haruna, a woman with a connection to the spooky dimension known as the Fold, decides she's had enough of secret societies and white dudes in waistcoats messing with time. Played via the motion magic of The Witcher's Anya Chalotra, Haruna is the ghost-punching, body-swapping, stealth-stalking force of nature. Gameplay is all about choices. Go full psychic ninja, or sneak like a colonial-era shadow. Haruna's Umbric abilities let her go invisible, teleport across space, take over bodies, and even pull a bit of Professor X clairvoyance to see enemies through walls. It's all wrapped in a slick cinematic vibe with puzzle solving and deep lore buried in every level. Part of a grand transmedia plan that kinda got Thanos snapped when the game didn't sell like hot samosas. Still, for fans of mystical storytelling and badass psychic heroines, Unknown 9 was a bold attempt to rewrite history, literally.
Fastest man alive! It's the Flash!
Flash is alive, and he's playing for Team Brainiac.
I gave you orders. Kill the Flash.
Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. If you've ever wanted to shoot Superman in the face while Harley Quinn giggles like a gremlin, then Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was basically made for your dark little heart. Released in 2024, after enough delays to make Flash himself dizzy, Rocksteady's wildest Arkham spin-off throws you, the Squad, into Metropolis, which is now less City of Tomorrow and more Brainiac's interdimensional litter box. You'll bounce between Deadshot's pinpoint pew-pews, Harley's chaotic bat beatdowns, King Shark's bitey brawler antics, and Captain Boomerang's teleport-chucking snarkathon. Toss in more guns, skill trees, traversal tricks, and DLC squad mates like Joker, Deathstroke, and Mrs. Freeze, and you've got a playable multiverse meltdown. You'll fight corrupted Justice League icons like a kryptonite-proof Superman and a Batman who really took trust issues too far, all while Waller treats you like meat with guns strapped to it. Sure, critics weren't jazzed about the live service loop, but the bonkers story slapped hard. Multiversal Luthers, Joker DNA-twisted Earths, Wonder Woman stabbing soups, and plot twists that make you question every neck bomb. It ends with the Squad kind of saving the multiverse? Yeah. These villains went full hero, and then gave Waller the finger and a captured Brainiac. Power move. Still wakes the deep. Imagine waking up hungover on Christmas, only instead of your couch, you're on a crumbling oil rig in the middle of the angry North Sea, being chased by oily meat monsters that look like your arteries after a year of fried food. Welcome to Still Wakes the Deep, a psychological horror thrill ride that the Chinese Room dropped in June 2024. It's first person, no combat, and 100% terror. You play as Cameron Kaz McCleary, an electrician on the sketchiest rig this side of hell, hiding from monsters, his criminal record, and probably HR. There are no guns here. Only vents to hide in, ladders to fall from, and hallucinations that hit harder than Glasgow weather. The North Sea is your second biggest enemy after the tentacle oil infection turning workers into twitchy abominations. You'll solve puzzles while dodging death, all wrapped in gorgeous 1970s realism so authentic it might smell like diesel and regret. With a story that's part the Poseidon adventure, part annihilation, and full-on emotional trauma, this one's a haunting deep dive into guilt, survival, and squishy things that should not exist. No HUD, no hope, just you, your flashlight, and your sins.
We face a choice. If you're to come back, this is when it starts. Do we kill?
Or do we part forever?
Banishers Ghosts of New Eden. Welcome to colonial New England, where the only thing frostier than the weather is the emotional trauma. Banishers. Ghosts of New Eden, released on February 13th, 2024, a very anti-Valentine's move for a game about tragic lovers, is a third-person action RPG from Don't Nod. You play as REMAKE Wraith and his ghost girlfriend Antea Duarte. Yes, ghost girlfriend. They showed up to banish spirits from a cursed snowball town and ended up banishing her pulse instead. Awkward. Gameplay lets you bounce between Red's sword-swinging, musket-blasting meatbag skills and Antea's spirit-fueled ghost powers. It's like The Witcher but haunted, colder, and with way more moral ambiguity. You'll be solving hauntings, uncovering town secrets, and making gut-punch decisions, like sacrificing townsfolk to resurrect your dead soulmate. You know, casual Tuesday choices. As you track down the source of the eternal winter and PTSD-fueled hauntings, you'll uncover that New Eden's nightmare is actually a wrongly executed woman's revenge ghost. Depending on how many people you save, or sacrifice like a heartless necromancer, the game wraps up with endings ranging from happy-ish ghost hunting retirement to eternal Groundhog Day loop of guilt and failure. So yeah, bring tissues and maybe a moral compass. Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. Ubisoft said, "You want Prince of Persia back? Bet." And then The Lost Crown drop-kicked its way onto every platform imaginable in January 2024. This time, you don't play as the prince. Nah, meet Sargon. Blade-swinging, air-dashing, time-hacking immortal warrior with more style than a 17th century runway show. When Prince Ghassan gets yeeted off the royal radar by his own mentor, Sargon charges into Mount Kaf, a cursed city stuck in an eternal time glitch, to set things straight. Or at least less cursed. Gameplay's a beautiful Metroidvania side-scrolling fever dream. You're wall-jumping, parrying, and simmer feather collecting like Persian parkour royalty. With talismans, time crystals, and shadow dashes, this is basically time-traveling Celeste with swords. And that's a massive compliment. The story? It's an operatic blend of betrayal, magic birds, ancient gods, and, wait, my mom killed the king? Vibes. Sargon fights corrupted undead, ghost buddies, backstabbing bros, and a godlike ex-friend turned Cimmerk fusion nightmare. Oh, and there's time travel. Twice. This game's got more twists than Sargon's ponytail. It didn't sell like hot saffron cakes, but The Lost Crown brought the franchise back in style. Fast, fierce, and fabulously Persian. Slitterhead. From the haunted minds behind Siren and Gravity Rush comes Slitterhead, a game that answers the age-old question. What if Inception, The Thing, and a midnight anime binge had a fever dream in Kowloon Walled City? Released in 2024, Slitterhead is a third-person action horror trip where you don't just fight monsters, you become people. Like literally, you're a ghost named Hyoki, who possesses dogs. And also people. It's fine. We're fine. Set in a cursed 1990s Kowloon, you'll help a girl named Julie, a rarity with freaky possession powers, fight parasitic time-mutated nightmares called Slitterheads. Creatures that look like what happens when your worst headache learns kung fu. Combat's got possession-flavored strategy, memory rewinding chaos, and a lot of moral breakdowns as you leap through timelines to clean up a future that went sideways real hard. Eventually, it's revealed that these Slitterheads? Yeah, they're time travelers from a doomed future. And the whole game's a bizarre identity crisis about redemption, recursive timelines, tragic love, and saving a suicidal demon boy named Alex. Directed by Silent Hill's Keiichiro Toyama, with music by Akira Yamaoka, this is psychological horror with an existential twist, and just enough style to haunt your dreams.
You want monster? I'll show you monster!
No! We disrobe!
Keep your pants on.
Although it could be used as a distraction.
Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. So what happens when you shove space raccoons, 80s mixtapes, and unresolved trauma into a space opera blender? You get Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, the surprise 2021 banger that nobody expected to slap this hard, but it totally did. Released on October 26, 2021, this single-player-only stunner lets you command a ragtag band of space weirdos as Peter Star-Lord Quill, delivering dialogue-heavy drama, alien chaos, and dad-joke-fueled leadership in a galaxy teetering on the edge of cult-fueled doom. Think third-person laser blasting mixed with real-time tactics. You dish out elemental gun damage while barking commands at Rocket, Groot, Gamora, and Drax, each of whom has their own combat specialty, from root-trapping bad guys to face-punching them into orbit. You can huddle mid-fight to deliver a motivational speech, complete with power ballads, or blow up baddies with combo attacks and ship-based shootouts. There's exploration, collectibles, branching dialogue, and zero microtransactions. Just vibes, space politics, and a suspiciously emotional raccoon. The plot hits like a flying cassette tape to the soul. Daddy issues, space cults, reality-bending gems, and the literal embodiment of bad decisions. Hymagus. It's fun, funny, and surprisingly deep. Even if it didn't sell like Marvel hoped, it absolutely earned its place among the stars.
Serve without complaint. Who is she to tell you when to strike?
Everything you do serves the hidden ones. That is a strange kind of freedom.
Assassin's Creed Mirage. Ubisoft heard your cries for fewer Viking side quests and more stabby rooftop goodness, and thus Mirage was born. A throwback to classic Assassin's Creed days when the only RPG elements were run, hide, stab. Released in October of 2023, this one ditches the world-ending maps of recent titles in favor of a tighter, faster, sneakier story set in 9th century Baghdad, aka the perfect parkour playground for hooded murder. You play as Basim ibn Ishaq, a street thief turned hidden one turned plot twist incarnate, as you slink through ancient markets, scale minarets, and slip hidden blades into necks that really had it coming. It's all about stealth, crowd blending, smoke bombs, and actual consequences for blowing your cover. Gone are the inventory juggling epics. In their place, a focused, sleek narrative that leans heavily on conspiracies, Isu mysteries, and Basim's inner Jinni, who turns out to be literally Loki, because why not? The gameplay brings back black box missions, bird buddies, shout out to Enkidu, and good old-fashioned rooftop escapes. Add in time-slowing assassination chains and refined movement animations, and Mirage becomes a love letter to fans of the OG assassin life. Small map, big impact, massive revelations.
Young Rentier, still on your father's leash, I see.
What did you see while Felicity was in your head?
Death.
Evil West. Take a spaghetti western, douse it in monster blood, and wire it up with Frankenstein-level electricity, and you get Evil West. If you think it's just another cowboy simulator, think again. This third-person yeehaw hack-and-blast romp lets you step into the weathered boots of Jesse Rentier, a cowboy with a lightning gauntlet and serious vampire squashing problems. It's Van Helsing by way of Doom, set in an alt-history Old West crawling with bloodsuckers, undead monstrosities, and some truly gnarly bosses that look like they crawled out of a monster truck rally from hell. Gameplay is all about brutal efficiency. You're juggling revolvers, rifles, flamethrowers, and a gauntlet that punches so hard it makes Nosferatu cry. Smack a vampire into a spike trap? Check. Slam him with a charged-up lightning uppercut? Absolutely. And the cherry on top? You can run this wild ride in two-player co-op, yeeing and hawing with a buddy as you chainsaw your way through monster guts. The plot's delightfully over the top. Secret vampire wars, a rogue bloodsucker trying to create her own monster militia, and a plan to turn President Grover Cleveland into a night creature. Yep, history class just got way more interesting. It's dumb fun with sharp fangs, and a heck of a punch. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons Remake. Get your tissues ready and make sure your co-op partner isn't a button masher, because Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons Remake is back to emotionally wreck a whole new generation. Originally released in 2013 and now lovingly rebuilt from the ground up, this updated classic dropped on February 28, 2024, with gorgeous next-gen visuals, richer environments, smoother controls, and a reorchestrated soundtrack that will absolutely gut-punch your soul in Dolby Surround. You control two brothers, either solo in a clever dual-stick setup or in local co-op, as they venture across a fantastical, often brutal landscape to find the mythical water of life that might save their dying father. One's big and strong, the other's small and nimble. Think classic brains and brawn dynamic, but delivered through heartbreak, fairy tale surrealism, and some of the most hauntingly poetic set pieces in gaming. Gameplay swings between puzzle solving, exploration, and oh yes you will cry storytelling, all in a wordless but deeply expressive format. The remake also adds fresh secrets and environmental details for returning fans to sniff out, and a little more emotional pain if you're into that. Warning: includes blood, loss, and a particularly harrowing optional scene involving depression, because even fairy tales sometimes break you. Marvel's Midnight Suns. Marvel's Midnight Suns is what happens when you throw a bunch of misfit heroes, a cursed parent-child reunion, and the literal end of days, all in one place, with cards. At the center is you, the Hunter, the not-so-dead child of Lilith, the mother of demons, who's been revived just in time to stop Mom from unleashing an ancient god named Chthon. Thanks, Hydra. Assembling a squad of Marvel's morally flexible finest, Blade, Magic, Ghost Rider, Nico Minoru, you'll battle corrupted versions of Hulk, Scarlet Witch, Venom, and even yourself. Oh, and Tony Stark and Doctor Strange bicker like divorced sorcerers every other scene. Gameplay is XCOM's spiritual cousin with card-based combat where every move feels like pulling a sick combo in Yu-Gi-Oh! If Yu-Gi-Oh! Had exploding barrels, hellhounds, and Deadpool-cracking jokes mid-fight. Between fights, you're chilling at the Abbey, building friendships like you're in a superhero dating sim, crafting new abilities, or petting your literal demon dog. DLC adds chaos with Deadpool's vampire invasion, Morbius's accidental science problems, Storm's search for lost mutants, and Dracula being a persistent pain. Underneath the banter, it's a surprisingly emotional game about legacy, choice, and not letting ancient evil hijack your glow-up.
Knave! What did you do to Lyria?
You are unworthy. Good thing we know where that red ship is going. Grand Cypher will hunt it down in no time.
Granblue Fantasy Relink. This one is a skyfaring RPG fever dream fueled by dragons, primal beasts, and plot twists that hit harder than a greatsword to the face. You play as Captain, which is either the most humble title ever, or just them being polite while casually commanding gods and monsters. Alongside the wholesome chaos of Lyria, Viren the tiny winged sass machine, and a crew made of every anime archetype ever, hello Rosetta, my elegantly cryptic queen, you're just trying to find Estalucia, the mystical endgame of the sky, until Bahamut decides to throw a tantrum and Lyria gets yeeted off the ship like it's Tuesday. Then enters Lilith, a stylishly evil astral with a villain plan straight out of Final Fantasy meets Eldritch Cult. She kidnaps Lyria, mind controls her, and decides the best way to reach home is by, destroying reality. It's fine. Thankfully, you've got Roland, your favorite suspiciously helpful handyman, who turns out to be a cosmic being with a heart of gold. Boss fights? Epic. Environments? Gorgeous. Narrative? High-stakes soap opera in the skies. And just when you think it's over, surprise, dragon inside a dude. This one's got heart, drama, and enough energy to keep JRPG fans locked in for the long haul.
Death and corruption. Oh, the remain here.
Kenna Bridge of Spirits. Kenna Bridge of Spirits is like the most emotionally soothing punch to the heart you'll ever play. Imagine Pixar directing a Zelda game, but make it healing and haunted. You step into the world as Kena, a spirit guide with a staff, a pulse, and enough heart to take on the emotional baggage of an entire cursed forest. It's not just about smacking corrupted wood monsters with your magic stick. It's about helping lost souls confront their trauma, make peace, and move on. And right beside you, a whole squad of precious soot gremlins called the Rot. Adorable, customizable, and low-key MVPs in combat and puzzle solving. Gameplay mixes satisfying staff strikes, bow sniping, and bomb-based puzzle solving, with the kind of heartfelt progression where every new ability feels like an emotional and spiritual milestone. The world design is lush, layered, and heavily inspired by places like Bali and Japan, with music to match, thanks to Gamelan Chudamani's ethereal vibes. Combat ramps up in challenge but never punishes curiosity, and the story hits hard with themes of grief, forgiveness, and growth. This is the kind of game that makes you reflect and fist pump. It's short, sweet, and unforgettable, like if Studio Ghibli and Sekiro had a baby and gave it a magical staff. Expeditions, a MUDRUNNER game. This game is basically what if Indiana Jones ditched the whip and grabbed the keys to a six-wheel drive monster truck instead. Instead of lugging cargo from point A to B like in classic MUDRUNNER fashion, this time you're off the beaten track, literally, leading science expeditions through nature's rudest terrains. Your job? Conquer the unpaved wilds of Little Colorado, dusty Arizona Badlands, and the slippery slopes of the Carpathians, all while your truck whines louder than your nerves. Forget highways. This is pure off-road academia. You're not delivering furniture, you're hunting for long-lost relics, using sonar detectors like a metalhead marine biologist, and sending up camera drones like some post-apocalyptic influencer. Get stuck? Flip your rig with a jack screw, slap on a winch, and scream "Science!" as you scale a cliff held by 2 pixels of rock and sheer willpower. The open-world free roam doesn't even unlock until you prove you can survive expedition mode. This game makes you earn your chill. Progression means expanding your base camp, upgrading your gear, and hiring scientists and techs who apparently moonlight as survivalists. It's muddy, it's methodical, and it's low-key the nerdiest off-road simulator you'll ever love. Mother Nature? She's not your enemy, just a final exam with bad weather.
The wonders of modern technology, making life easier for millions of people.
System Shock. This game is the ultimate what could possibly go wrong simulator set aboard a neon-lit nightmare fuel station in space, where corporate greed and AI ambition go on the worst blind date ever. You play as a nameless hacker who thought they were getting a neural implant upgrade and ended up waking from a 6-month nap to find that SHOGUN, the station's artificial intelligence, is now a power-tripping digital god who's turned everyone into meat smoothies or metal monstrosities. Congrats, you're now the only glitch in her perfect plan. Armed with cyberpunk weapons, wild augmentations, and an inventory system that still thinks it's 1994, you'll stomp through corridors crawling with killer cyborgs, mad robots, and remnants of humanity that look like the leftovers of a horror buffet. The game mixes classic immersive sim DNA with modern visuals, but stays eerily loyal to the original's you-better-figure-this-out-yourself gameplay. From launching a mining laser at Earth, on purpose to break it, to diving headfirst into Shogun's twisted cyberspace to fry her corrupted soul, this remake balances retro design with HD dread. And the final reward for your trauma-filled journey through body horror and system hacking? A job offer, from the same corp that started this mess. Tempting.
Greetings, comrade. Mother Russia sends her regards. Mine's finished.
Destroy all humans, 2 Reprobed. This is basically what happens when a chaos-loving alien with a 60s rock star attitude goes full global. Picking up where the first remake left off, Crypto is now armed with an upgraded arsenal of mind-melting weapons, a flying saucer that can flatten cities, and enough snark to make James Bond flinch. This time, he's on a globe-trotting mission that takes him from the psychedelic streets of Bay City, a groovy parody of San Francisco, to the moon base of Solaris, and yes, he brings anal probes to every stop. Gameplay is a glorious blend of third-person shootouts, stealthy abductions, and outright ridiculousness. Crypto's got jetpacks, telekinesis, brain-exploding rays, and the power to hop into humans' bodies to stir up even more chaos. The sandbox worlds are chunkier than in the 2006 original, with new nooks, optional missions, and wild conspiracies to uncover. Each map is like a playground where alien destruction meets 60s counterculture, and every hippie, soldier, or KGB agent is fair game for probing. Plus, the entire campaign can be played in couch co-op, so you and a buddy can wreak havoc side by side like two greys in a pod. It's absurd, nostalgic, and gloriously dumb in the best way.
I also wanted to mention the crazy murderous crabs outside trying
Begone, little hermit. I tire of you.
Yes, ma'am!
Another crab's treasure. This is the kind of game that looks like a meme at first glance, but hits you with an existential crisis about ocean pollution, economic collapse, and the soulless grind of capitalism, through the lens of a cranky hermit crab wielding a plastic fork. It's a Souls-like, sure, but it throws out the usual gritty vibes and replaces them with bright trashscapes, an underwater society built on garbage, and a playable character who literally lost his home because of unpaid shell taxes. Combat feels like a fluid mix of dodging, stabbing, and shell hopping, with each shell not only acting as armor, but granting magical powers, called shell spells, that use umami instead of mana. You've got critical hits when enemies get capsized, a surprisingly deep skill tree unlocked by a mysterious moon snail, and you can even grapple around like a crabby Spider-Man. The difficulty's still very much Soulsborne at its core, but players can adjust it on the fly, one of many ways the game balances challenge with accessibility. Under the crusty charm lies a narrative full of betrayal, ecological horror, and the wild idea of sinking a garbage island to boost the economy. Yes, another crab's treasure is ridiculous, and kind of brilliant. Tales of Kenzera Zau. Here, you play as Zau, a grief-stricken young shaman trying to bargain with Kalunga, the god of death, for the return of his father's soul. To earn this impossible reward, Zau must capture 3 powerful monster spirits scattered across the mythical lands of Kenzera, a world inspired by Bantu mythology and bursting with ancestral energy, rich forests, haunting ruins, and divine realms that feel like sacred dreams turned interactive. Gameplay thrives on its duality. Zau isn't just a fighter, he's a dancer between 2 powers. The Sun Mask delivers punchy, up-close melee combos that feel weighty and fierce, while the Moon Mask channels graceful ranged energy attacks with pinpoint accuracy. Switching between them mid-fight becomes second nature and is crucial for both combat and puzzle solving. Each mask has its own skill tree, upgraded using Eulogy, a soul-like resource you gather by defeating enemies and exploring hidden corners of the map. Zau can wall jump, double jump, and dash through air with impressive agility, and as you unlock new powers, the interconnected world reveals secret areas and shortcuts. Classic Metroidvania design, elevated by sharp visuals, and a genuinely touching narrative about loss, legacy, and letting go. Shogun Showdown. This next one is a turn-based tactical roguelike that fuses samurai precision with deck-building brutality. It plays like a hypnotic dance of blades, where every square matters, every tile is a weapon, and every misstep could be your last. If chess, katana duels, and roguelikes had a stylish baby, this would be it. The core loop is simple to learn: move, strike, survive. But the depth is insane. You don't just attack, you build your attack tiles like you're forging a weapon mid-fight. Upgrades let you chain strikes together, unleash devastating combos, and turn the battlefield into your personal dojo of destruction. Timing, positioning, and tile management are everything. Its roguelike structure means failure isn't the end, it's just another slash on your warrior's journey. Die, learn, unlock new characters and abilities, then come back sharper. The more you play, the deeper the tactics get, and the more beautifully violent your combos become. Wrapped in gorgeously detailed Japanese-inspired pixel art, Shogun Showdown feels like a lost SNES classic blessed by a modern roguelike master. It's fast, focused, and viciously addictive. Whether you're a tactics junkie or a roguelike lifer, this is one showdown you'll keep coming back to. Concord. This game was meant to be Sony's high-stakes entry into the saturated hero shooter arena. A glossy, big-budget sci-fi spectacle set in a retro-futuristic galaxy filled with aliens, mercs, and corporate overlords. But what was once pitched as a tentpole franchise, meant to rival Star Wars, ended up being one of the fastest and most expensive flops in gaming history. The game launched with all the ingredients for a live service hit. fast-paced 5v5 PvP combat, a diverse roster of 16 heroes with quirky abilities, 6 varied objective-based modes, and even a plan for weekly cinematic story drops to flesh out the Free Gunner vs. Guild conflict in the wilds. Characters had cool sci-fi twists, think diamond-skinned tanks and android parkour junkies, but none of it really stuck. Reviews called the gameplay solid but generic, the story flat, and the hero designs forgettable. What made Concord's crash so dramatic wasn't just the 2-week shutdown, but the alleged $400 million price tag, disputed or not, and the immediate closure of Firewalk Studios. Industry whispers pointed to an internal echo chamber of toxic positivity, where early warnings were brushed off with blind confidence. Now, Concord sits in gaming's hall of cautionary tales, an overambitious gamble that tried to shoot for the stars, only to get vaporized in orbit. Towers of Aghasba. Last but not least, we have Towers of Aghasba, a lush open-world sandbox with teeth. Equal parts ecological restoration sim and creative civilization builder, this game isn't just about surviving on a mysterious island, it's about healing it. You play as a junior architect of the Shimu people, returning generations after the withered, think corrupted, life-sapping shadow monsters, forced your ancestors into exile. Now, it's your job to rebuild, to reimagine entire villages from the ground up, and to reclaim what was lost. But here's the twist. It's not all cozy vibes. You'll also gear up, craft potions and armor, and face off against terrifying withered creatures in order to purify the land. Beyond the battles and blueprints, the heart of the game lies in restoring Aghasba's wildly creative ecosystems. You'll plant alien flora, attract weird cute creatures, and even collaborate with nature gods. The co-op mode lets up to 4 players team up and explore each other's islands, each island totally unique to the player, offering a great balance of solo expression and shared adventure. And yes, your progress and loot? It comes back home with you. This isn't just a game about building towns, it's about reviving a lost world, together. So these are the 25 PS5 bangers so underrated they might just call themselves indie out of habit. Even if you're into pixelated heartbreakers, twisted platformers, or RPGs with more lore than your uncle's fishing stories, there's something here to blow your mind and justify your controller addiction. Just remember, the best games aren't always the ones hogging the spotlight. They're chilling in the shadows, waiting to flex. Drop a comment if we missed your favorite hidden gem, smash that like button harder than a boss fight, and subscribe so we can keep feeding your underrated addiction. Happy gaming.
This would be a very dishonorable way for us all to die.